Hi guys. So today I want to talk to you about two things. The first thing, actually fuck it. I'm going to do my announcement first and then I'm going to go into how to get people to invest in themselves with you because that has been the number one question entrepreneurs have been asking me. But first things first, my announcement. So I am launching a 6-week group program for service-based entrepreneurs, and there are bi-weekly calls, live trainings, a bunch of fucking access to me within the private community. And then for anyone who applies, gets on the call and ends up signing up within the next 2 weeks, you will get 2 one-on-one calls with me. This is the lowest investment I've ever offered. And it's perfect for anyone who fucks with my vibe. I fuck with theirs. And anyone who has gotten heart palpitations when they've heard my one-on-one rate. So this investment is super valuable and I'm super stoked. And I'm actually gonna leave a link to the application in the comments. I just left it. Anyways, now on to what I really, really, really want to talk about because so many of you have been asking me, and it's how to get people to invest in themselves with you. So I have some notes as per usual, and you know what, I'm gonna set this up. So I'm gonna talk about the basics and then I'm gonna go, hi Kate. I'm gonna talk about the basics and then I'm gonna move into sales calls and energetics as well, because I wanna cover everything. So first things first, the main reason why people aren't investing in you with themselves is because they don't know what the fuck you do. And they don't know what problem you're solving. So here's the thing. Someone will invest in you if they know that you can solve their problem. So where is the gap? Why don't they have what they want, what they desire? You need to go in there and you need to be like, yo, I got your fucking back. This is the problem that I solve. That is the main issue. If someone did not have a need for me or did not have a need for my group program, then they wouldn't fucking sign on, right? People buy what they want. And I'm gonna actually, you know what, fuck that, let's get into this now. So this is a big mistake that people make. It's that they will start selling people what they need. So I used to do health and wellness coaching, and a lot of body image and stuff like that stems from childhood. So this is a horrible example. I mean, it's a good example, but I'm teaching you what not to do. So if I were trying to get you to sign on with me, I wouldn't just go straight into your fucking trauma without even knowing you and start uncovering all this shit. So what you actually need is the healing. What you want is to feel confident in your body. So what I would be selling you in that instance is confidence and feeling sexy and feeling good. So a lot of entrepreneurs get stuck. They'll start giving people what they need. They'll start overcoaching on sales calls, all this shit. Cut that out. Anyways, back to what I have written down. I just had caffeine, and if you know me personally, you know I get really excited. So bear with me. Okay, so I've spoken about this before. You want to provide value. So if someone doesn't think that you are an expert, they're not going to invest in you. So I'm going to use health coaching as an example because I guess it's on my mind now. So valuable content, if I were doing health coaching, if I wanted to share my story, I would talk about my story. I would talk about what I did to overcome my negative body image. And then I'd invite people into chatting about it. And I'd invite people into coaching with me. Something else, you can post something five things you can do right now to feel more confident in your body. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Or you can talk about your clients and case studies. Another thing, I'm all about talking about how and when and where I fucked up in my journey. So I kind of fucked up for a minute because I wasn't posting anything that's self-identifying. So you want someone to read your post and be like, yo, that's me. Because if someone can identify, they're more likely to buy from you. People need to know that they're heard and that you see them and that you can help them. That's basically it. So what else as regards, and for those of you who just hopped on, I'm doing the basics and then I'm going into energetics and sales. So you need to be consistent. And then a big thing is you need to be authentic. So something a lot of people do is they'll have mentors, which is great, but they'll start acting like their mentors and not themselves. If someone wanted to work with your mentor, they would go work with your mentor. Like, why the fuck are you acting like someone else? Like, snap out of it. People need you to be you. And what you offer is so unique and so fucking valuable that you are doing yourself a disservice and other people by trying to be someone else. Like, it's not chill. Cut it out. Another thing, people lack belief in their actual product. So if you do not believe in what it is that you're selling, someone is not going to invest in you. Like, someone is not going to give you money and be like, yo, take my money. Like, no, that's not how it works. Like, why would I pay someone who didn't believe that they can help me? It makes no fucking sense. Now, I want to talk about energetics before like getting into sales calls. But from an energetic standpoint, if you do not think that you are deserving of having your one-on-one coaching sell out or your group program selling out, if you don't think that you're deserving of the things that you actually want, you will not attract them, because subconsciously you will do a bunch of shit to fuck things up. You will not show up the way that you need to be showing up, and it's just a mess. So my number one tip is like, yes, like I want everyone to invest in themselves, but also if you're working with a coach, make sure that it's not just strategy, make sure that it's also mindset and internal work. Shameless plug, my group program will do both. I'm super hyped. Anyways, so yeah, that is like what I want you guys to focus on. Like, you really need just like a steady and firm foundation in order to build your business on that. Like, if you don't, like, you're 100% fucked, because having a business and like even starting a business, all of that, like, you will grow so much in such a short amount of time, and so much of your old shit will keep coming up. All right. So as far as sales calls, what I've noticed is that a lot of coaches tend to overcoach on their sales calls, and it's because they don't really believe in themselves and what they offer. And so they'll do things to overcompensate. So they'll literally just start like coaching nonstop, and then that person will get off the call with them and have this like false sense of like, oh my God, my problems are solved. Life is so good. But like, it's not, because realistically, your issues are not going to be solved by one call. So people are fucking up by doing that. Another thing, like I mentioned earlier, is that they're giving people what they want. Sorry, they're giving them what they need, not necessarily what they want. So they're going into this whole thing about like, I don't know, childhood trauma and I don't know, blah, 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 like telling you all the steps. And like, people don't, they get lost in that. People are just like, whoa, zoning out. Like, I just want to feel sexy. So that's another issue. And then the biggest issue whenever you're on a sales call is that a lot of people are not getting the point across, that like they're not expressing the importance of taking action right now. So what is the cost of inaction? What is the cost of you not investing in yourself right now? What will your life look like tomorrow? What will it look like in a week from now? What will it look like in 3 months from now? Like, that is the thing. It's like people don't think about that. And like, that is like the number one reason, and I'll be honest, that I fucked up on calls, is that like, I haven't like drilled that in. I haven't been like, yo, what's the cost of inaction? And now I'm like, hey, we need to talk about the cost of inaction. So learn from my mistakes. Anyways, let me know if these tips were helpful. I left a link for the application for my group program in the comments. It is for service-based entrepreneurs who currently have a business. So if that is you, if you fuck with my vibe and I fuck with your vibe, you should definitely apply, because it's going to be amazing. And not to scare you, but the cost of inaction is that the investment is going to continue going up and up and up. So invest in yourself, and feel free to invest in yourself with me. Let's fucking go. DM me if you have questions. A few of you have actually messaged me about lives that you want to see, so I will be posting those. So yeah, I'm here for you, honey. Let's fucking go. Okay, bye guys.